20 years ago in the landscape lighting world, when you wanted to turn on and off your landscape lights, your options were pretty limited. You did a photocell, maybe a timer, and in some cases you did both. But nowadays, there's been a ton of technology that's been introduced to the landscape lighting world. Here are some of the most popular ways that we see how technology has affected the way that you control your landscape lighting in today's world. Astronomical timers and GPS timers are a really reliable way to control your landscape lighting. These devices, they will actually self-adjust every single day on the on time. As those days get longer, it'll stay off, and vice versa. As the days get shorter, it'll come on sooner. It will even self-adjust with daylight savings. So the astronomical timer and the GPS timers are a fantastic way to go to control your landscape light. Number 4 are smart sockets. A smart socket is basically a module that your transformer will plug into, or they can even go plug into the inside of your transformer, and they work off of a Wi-Fi signal. If you have a very good Wi-Fi signal, this could be a very good option for you to look at. It'll allow you to use a third-party app that you can get on, and you can turn your lights on and off at different times. You can override it if they're set up on a timer. So if you're out at night and you want to keep the lights going on when they're supposed to be off, very easy to just, by the hit of a button, turn them back on. Smart sockets are a great way to give you a little bit more control over your landscape lights. I would recommend looking at Romacker and Kichler with their smart sockets that they have available. Do a very, very good job. Keep in mind, you gotta have a good Wi-Fi. Otherwise, these won't work so well. Another new way to control a transformer is actually the Brilliance Relay. Now, this is brand new from them. So let's take a scenario where there's already an existing transformer that has some type of timer that's controlling the landscape lights. If the customer wants to add more lights and needs to install another transformer and they want everything to turn on, this is a very good option for the Brilliance Relay. It could also be a really good option if they have a particular transformer that is controlled or set up to work with a smart home device that they may have. When you install these new lights on a new transformer and you want it to work with that system, you can easily put this relay into place. That way, everything comes on by one single timer with multiple transformers. So that is the Brilliance Relay. It's now available, and it's a great way to sync up an existing timing system that you already have in your landscape lights. Another way that we're seeing a lot of people control their landscape lights is by actually using a low voltage dimmer switch. Now, we started seeing a lot of companies start to come out with those. Right now on the market, I think there's about maybe 3 or 4 brands that we specifically sell that offer the low voltage dimmer switch. These dimmer switches, you're typically seeing them put into the field where they're wanting to control either a group of fixtures or a certain fixture that they want to be able to turn on and off or dim it down. It's also very popular with those who are using low voltage bistro lighting. This allows for you to dim down those bistro lights. It also allows you to turn them on and off when you're not wanting to use them. So take a look at some of the different options that are out there for your low voltage dimmer switches, because they can give you a lot of cool control and set the mood right with the dimmer feature. Number 1, zoning transformers. You're starting to see a lot of them. A lot of these transformers have 3, maybe 2 zones, and they can do some really cool things. They're all working with the use of Wi-Fi. When you buy a transformer like this, you don't have to buy an independent timer to go into it, because you'll be able to connect via Wi-Fi, where you'll be able to control what goes on with those different zones. If you already have an existing transformer, there's a product out there by Brilliance called the Sector Selector, which offers you 4 zones, and you can put that in and have that work with an existing transformer and then use their app to control it. Dower has a really nice 3-zone transformer all built into one unit, as well as Kichler and SPJ. But if you needed to also dim, then you're going to have to look at products like the WAC, their new colorscaping transformer, where you can hook up fixtures, and as long as the fixtures are actually dimmable, it too can also dim those particular fixtures, but you're going to have just 2 zones. There's a lot of good opportunity. There's a lot of good selections for starting to create different zones to give your customer more control over their lighting system.